Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a kind of like do my makeup chit chat story time with you guys. And I kind of did this like pink look. I saw it on Instagram. um I'll tag the page that I was inspired by, because I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'm just starting to use colors and everything, so a lot of the things that I do are inspired by other people until I can get kind of my creativity back for my makeup. But I hope you enjoy this look, and I hope you enjoy this story time. It gets a little messy. I hope you're ready for the tea because it's hot, baby. But yeah, so I'll get right into the video. I had came back from school. I was home at the time, and I had came home because I think it was like I was on break or something. That's usually when I come home. I usually don't come home any other time. So I think it was a break, and I'm not really the type of friend that, like, I don't know, I don't call people every day. Like, I really go MIA sometimes, especially when I'm busy, I'm stressed out, or my life isn't where I want it to be. Like, I don't know, like, I don't feel comfortable with just a key can and, like, acting like things are good when it's really not. I need to get on my stuff and get my life together. So, but I hit him up because I was home and I haven't talked to him in a while, and we're just gonna call this friend Derek. So I haven't talked to Derek in a while, and so I hit him up and I was like, hey, what you doing tonight? And he was like, oh, like, I work at 11, but why, what's up? What was going on? So I was like, oh, like, I wanted to hang out, but if you gotta work, like, we can do it another time. And he was like, oh no, like, I'm thinking about quitting this job anyway. They're getting on my nerves. Like, we can just go out. So I was like, are you sure? And he said, yeah. So I'm like, okay, bet. Well, I'll come get you and we can go get something. So we wound up going to this bar called Loafers here. And it's pretty known. I mean, it's not like popping, but it's pretty known. And um, so we wound up going there, and I end up picking him up, and then me driving there. And so we go in, and we wound up sitting at the bar. It really wasn't that many people in there. I want to say it was about like a cool 15 to 20 people in there. Like, not too much. And which was cool for me because I wasn't in the mood to really be around a whole bunch of people, to be honest. Like, I just wasn't in that mood. So well, let me just tell y'all what I did so far. So I used my NYX micro brow pencil to fill in my brows, which I really like because usually I use a pomade, but this really got my brows looking very much natural, giving the girls, these are my brows, period. So then I used the LA Pro Girl concealer and Fawn to clean up under my brows, and then I used the LA Pro concealer in Beautiful Bronze to clean up the top of my brows. So next, oh, and then also I used the P. Louise base in Rumor 3 on my eyelids. So basically, yeah. So we wound up sitting at the bar. There's not that many people in there. And we're just catching up. Like, I'm asking him everything that's going on with him. And is he excited about his son's arrival? And just things like that. He's telling me everything that's going on between him and his baby mother. So the first color I'm going to go in with is Escape. You know, I'm just listening and making sure he's like good and stuff, because I'm an empath. Like, I really care about my friends. Even though I do go MIA, like, I really care about my friends, and I just want to see them all happy, and I just want them to win in every situation possible. So he's just telling me about how he's preparing for his son's arrival, and just how, you know, he wants things to be better between him and his baby mother and stuff like that. And like, I don't have any type of feelings for him. So I'm not the girl that's like, oh, leave your baby mother and then low-key plotting. Like, no, that's not me. Like, when I have guy friends, they are strictly my guy friends. Like, and that's that. So, I'm just telling him, like, you know, I just want you to be happy. And if you need to take a break right now, like, you know, then do that. Yeah, like, your mental health is important. You need to, like, you have a child on the way, and both of y'all really need to just get prepared for the time to come. Like, because soon it's not going to be about y'all anymore. It's going to be about the child. So I'm telling him about, you know, school, and like probably the guys that I'm dealing with at the time and stuff like that. I'm telling him about my situations and things that I'm going through, and you know, a shoulder to lean on, basically. And that's what we were there for each other for. Like, I'm going in with Skip next. So yeah, we're just having a heart to heart. And we all need to like vent sometimes. We all need to let go, like just let it out. Because all that bottling things up inside, it's not good. It's not. I've been there, done that. It's not good. So anyway, yeah, so we're having a heart to heart. Mind you, at this point, we're still waiting on our food and everything. And we're getting a little antsy. But over next to me, I see this guy, and he's with his homeboy or whatever. And they're like in their early 30s, I believe. That's what it looks like. Their early 30s. And they're sitting next to me, and oh, this girl in this tight dress, she walks over, and you can tell, like, you know, she's trying to go home with one of them. Like, she's leaning on one while caressing the leg and the arm of the other. She trying to get chose, okay? She trying to get chose by one of them. She like, one of y'all gonna take me home. Which one of y'all? Which one of y'all going home with me still? Okay, like one of them, yeah. So, so I'm like looking and stuff, like, okay, cool. Like, this is kind of weird. But anyway, like, I'm feeling embarrassed for her, because you can tell, like, the guys aren't really, like, into her like that. So Derek, he's like, yo, look at them over there. So I'm over there like, oh yeah, I already peeped, like, you know, she kind of doing the most. And he like, no, look at his pockets. So I'm looking, and y'all, like, he has a wad of cash, like a wad of cash in his pocket. But like, it's just sitting there, like it's hanging out of the pocket. Like, I want to say, okay, so the wad of cash was like this big, right? And if this was the pocket, the wad of cash was just out here like this. So I'm like, so he like, he's like, yo, go ahead and try and get that. So I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm not trying to get shot out here, okay? Like, you ain't gonna have me out here in these streets laid out. So, yeah, but he was really dumb. Like I get it. You wanna be out here with your racks to the ceiling, but at the same time, it's like, if you gonna do that, you need to watch your money. Like, don't be out here just having it, like, just out like that. But to each his own. So, but yeah, so we're still waiting on our food, and I'm like getting irritated because I'm pretty sure, just like everybody else who goes out to eat, you're trying to eat. You're not trying to sit there and socialize for like an hour and then get your food. You're trying to, eat for real. So yeah. So we asked the waitress, the bartender, like, okay, so how much longer is it going to take until our food gets here? And she's like, oh, it should be out here soon. Okay. So, yeah. So we still waiting. We're talking. But at this point, it's like, it's not much to talk about. Like, because we didn't spoke about everything. We're just hungry at this point. And, yeah, we're just hungry. So, sorry, y'all. I'm trying to blend it. But yeah, we're just trying to eat. Like, we're hungry. And especially, like, we done already had our drink and everything. Like, we're trying to eat. So finally our food comes. We're on social media. We're talking. Bada boom, bada bing. Like, we're still talking about the same stuff. Because even though we're not talking about a lot of topics and stuff, we're still, like, having a deep conversation about the things that we were talking about. So, yeah. So, we finally, like, finish our food and everything. And, well, we finished, but we weren't finished. Like, we were basically wrapping up for real. And I can tell in his face, like, he's a little bothered. So I'm like looking at him like, are you good? Like, you okay? Is there something wrong? Like, so he's looking at his phone, and he's like, he gives me a couple of dollars to pay for his food, and he's like, take care of the bill for me. I'ma be right back. So I'm like, okay. So, I handle the bill or whatever. Excuse me. I handle the bill. And he leaves to go outside. And I know he's not, like, trying to run off on me or anything like that. Because we came together. Like, where is he going? Like, yeah. So, we came together. So, and plus, like, that's not his character. Like, he wouldn't do that. So, yeah. So, I'm just sitting there waiting for him to come back because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, what's tea? What's the problem? So he comes back and he's like, yo, like, I think she's here. And I'm like, who? He's like, I think my baby mother is here. And I'm like, what? So I'm asking him, like, well, how does she know that you were here? And like what's going on? Like, is something off? Is something happening? Is like, what's the problem? Okay, so I really kind of want to deepen this purple color. So what I think I might do is I might take like a little pointy kabuki brush and then get some black to go in there just to deepen. But yeah, so I'm like, you know, is everything okay? Like, do you need to like just go or whatever? And he's just like, no, like, I'm looking at her location and it says that she's here. Just when we go outside, just see if you see like a what did he say? I think he said a white Honda. Just see if you see a white Honda. Now, I live in Baltimore. Having a Honda is like very common. Like, it's a very common car because people just, that's like a car like, oh, like, you got money, like, you got Honda, okay, like, it's a trendy car, I guess. So I'm just like, okay. So really, like, even if it was a Honda out there, or if I saw a Honda, it wouldn't guarantee that that was her. But yeah. So okay, I'm going back in with Escape just to blend it all out. But yeah, so I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't have solidified that that was her or whatever. So we go outside. I'm looking for the car. I don't see a car. So we get in the car that I'm driving. At the moment, I was driving my mom's car because it was something wrong. Oh, my brakes were bad on my car or something. I think my brakes weren't working on my car or something like that. And I couldn't drive it for real. So I had borrowed my mom's car to go out. And so we get back in the car. And so he's like looking at his phone still, which I can just tell, like, he's still bothered by, you know, her being out there and he doesn't know where she's at. So he ends up being like, oh, you know, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom. Now, I was born on a day, but it wasn't yesterday. I knew he was going to go look for that car. And I was just like, okay, like, you know, it's bothering him. And I can see why it's bothering him, because it's like, he already knows, like, it's about to be some mess. So he goes to look for the car. And I can see him at this point coming back towards, like, in my view, like, at this point, he's coming in front of the car that I'm in. So he comes over there, but it's like a black Honda sitting right there. And he opens the door and sits in the car and then comes out and then comes back to my car. So I'm like so confused at this point, because I'm like, what? Like, what is going on? So I'm like asking him, like, you know, was that her? Like, you know, whatever. And he was like, no, it was a Chinese family. I'm like, no, he said, no, it was an Asian family. I'm like, Derek, so you really just opened the car door, sat in their car, and didn't, like, like, you just didn't care. So, yeah, so basically, it wasn't her car. So he's just really sitting there looking at his phone like, this is ridiculous. Like, I think I'm about to we can just go ahead and, like, go back. Because, yeah, like, nobody was about to sit out there all that time. Because we had already sat out there for, like, a good 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes trying to look for the car. So I think we were both like, okay, like, obviously we're not going to find it. And we're just going to, you know, head back. It's all good. We're just going to head back. I want to say 2 minutes within us saying that, all I hear is skrrr. So I'm like, what the heck? So this girl, all you see is it's a silver car. She starts doing donuts around my car. Skrrr, skrrr, skrrr. This girl starts doing donuts around my car. I'm like, yo, what? So I'm like, I kid you not, like, this sounded like a movie or something. So I'm really sitting here like, what is going on? Like, this is a lot to be dealing with, to be honest. So then I'm looking at him like, and all you see is this girl, she got a bonnet on. She like, yeah, we got you. We got you. Get out the car. Get out the car. We got you. You caught. I'm like, oh my.
Oh, the ghetto. The ghetto. The ghetto.
Y'all, I'm really like, what the heck is going on? Like, so I'm using Vaseline to cut the crease because it's just a little bit easier. And I'll make sure it transfers. But, yeah, so I'm like, what the heck? Like, who is this? So she like, yeah, we got you. We got you. Get out the car. Get out the car. So he gets out the car like, I kid you not. It was like an episode of Cheetahs or something. Like, I was really sitting there like, what? So in my mind, I'm not scared. I'm not like, oh my gosh, like, they got us, they caught us, because it wasn't like that. Like, it was not like that. So I'm over here like, okay. And so he gets out the car and he's talking to them. And I don't know, I guess it's because I'm so young and I don't really like think. I don't know. It doesn't click to me when people will say, oh, I'm pregnant, or oh, I have a baby on the way. Like my friends and stuff, it doesn't click. Like it just doesn't click. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not thinking about children right now, but or like we're so young still, but I'm just like, okay. Like, yeah. So anyway, so yeah, so she's like, yeah, we got you. Get out the car. Get out the car. So I knew his baby mother was pregnant. But like I just told y'all, stuff doesn't click to me. Like, even now, like, a couple of my friends have babies or they're pregnant or whatever the case may be. And it still does not click to me. I don't know why. Call me childish. I don't know. But it just doesn't click. Just like, I'm in shock because I'm like, oh, like, he really has a baby on the way. Like, it's all kind of hitting me right now. But like, this is not the time for things to be hitting me. This is the time to really like just like see what's going on, see what's up or whatever. So I'm just sitting in the car still while he's like handling things with his baby mother. And my thing is like, just as long as they don't disrespect me, like, then this is none of my business. So, and I know how like things work. I know how situations can be, and I'm just not trying to put him in a situation where like I don't want him to not be able to see his son because of my actions. Like, that's the last thing I want to happen. So I'm really carrying it like, this is none of my business. This is between them. Like, just let them figure it out. Let them, do what they gotta do to get past this. So, yeah, so I'm just sitting in the car and all I hear is, yeah, you supposed to be at work, but you out here getting drinks with females. Cause I was waiting for that B word. Cause don't disrespect me, ma'am, girl, lady, sis, Miss Mamas. Don't disrespect me. And she didn't. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she was like, oh yeah, you supposed to be at work, but you out here getting drinks with females. Like, what are you doing? She's 8 months pregnant. Like, sorry, I had to do the little thing. But she's like, she's 8 months pregnant. This is the homegirl talking at this point. So, yeah. I know this story is all over the place. Y'all forgive me. I'm gonna get better with my stories. I'm dragging it. I'm getting sidetracked, but please bear with me. I'm gonna get better as time goes. But yeah, so the homegirl, she's like, she's 8 months pregnant. Like, how could you just be out here and you supposed to be at work? You supposed to be making money for your son. Like, how are you going to support your son if you're out here not going to work and da 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 da? And so he's trying to calm everybody down in the situation. And like, everybody knows me. Like, anybody who knows me knows that I do not like, oh child, I'm trying to get this cut crease. And I don't know if I'm doing it right. But anybody who knows me knows that I do not like being put on the spot. I don't like, I just have anxiety, like, and it's not even about the anxiety part with this. I just don't like people in my business. Like, you in my business, don't do that. Like, no. So, I'm getting really irritated because I'm like, okay, like, this is a lot. It's a lot going on. And quite frankly, I'm not for it. I'm not. So I'm gonna just sit in this car and let them, deal with that. I'm gonna make sure he's good and okay, but I'm not getting out. And at this point, like, people in the bar are starting to come outside. So it's really becoming a thing. Like, a thing. I don't know if y'all can see me, but yeah, because my mirror is blocking the thing. But yeah, so it's really becoming a thing. And I'm just like, okay, like, I'm ready to go. Is people watching? This is embarrassing. And like, I'm just speaking on me, but I just know it was embarrassing for him as well. Because it's like, you gotta deal with this. Like, this is a lot. And like, I know he was really like, yo, it really is not what it looks like. And I'm not gonna lie. Like, if he didn't mention this to her, and I'm guessing he posted it, that's how, like, she found out his location or whatever. Or they just have each other's location. But like, it looks like we're on a date. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like we're on a date. And she was just like yelling, like, the baby mother was yelling, like, who is she? Like, I don't know her. And he's like, yo, like, this is my homegirl. I told you about her. And she's like, I don't know her, because the gag is we never met. So like, of course she doesn't know me by face. And especially like, she's pregnant. Like, she's not trying to hear any of that, to be honest. Like, and I don't blame her. She's not trying to hear nothing. Because what it looks like is that he decided not to go to work to go out on a date with me. Potentially somebody he could be looking to be with, but that wasn't the case. So she's like, who is she? Like, I never seen her in my life. He's like, yo, I told you about her. Like, this my homegirl. It's not like that. Blah, blah. And, like, I commend him because he really wasn't trying to, you know, do a whole bunch of arguing with her. He was really just sitting there, just listening to her, like, just trying to get her to calm down and, like, really just, you know, get everything out. All right, so in this cut crease, I'm about to use the, well, let me clean off this brush because I do not want purple in it, but I'm going to use the Rumor Zero base, the P. Louise base, to go into this cut crease. But yeah, so, yeah, she not trying to hear any of that. So he like, yo, like, just chill out, you know, let's just talk, like, you know, whatever. So, I'm just sitting in the car, and he ends up texting me like, oh, you know, she said she was gonna take me home. Well, take me to work. She said she was gonna take me to work, and so you can go ahead and you can leave. So I'm just asking him like, okay, like, are you okay? Are you sure? Whatever. And he was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, thank you. And stuff like that. So I'm like, okay. So at this point, I don't know, like, I had my reservations because I know how sometimes, like, us females, we can be really petty. And what I didn't want to happen, actually, I'm gonna just keep using this. I did not want to use this little tiny brush, but it is what it is. But I just know how us females, we can be really petty sometimes. And I just did not want her to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take you home, and just leave him stranded like that. Like, I wanted to make sure, like, okay, yeah, she actually gonna take him home. So after he texted me that, like, I want to say I stayed there for a good, like, maybe 2 to 5 minutes more. And I could tell because she had said, like, oh, why is she still sitting right there? And then I just see a car coming next to my car, like, and just sit right there. So I already have an attitude because, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff going on. Like, it's embarrassing. Yeah. So I rolled down the window because they rolled down the window. And it was the guy that was sitting across from us at the bar. And he's like, oh, hey, hey, beautiful. You should get with a real man. And he said, you should get with a real man because you too pretty to be going through all of that. Like, you shouldn't be going through all of that. And, you know, let me get your number.
No.
I just want him to get on my face. So I'm like, oh no, like, I'm okay. He like, no, let me get your number, like, blah, blah, blah. And I already had, like, some traumatic experiences when someone has tried to get my number. So I'm like, I'm not about to give this man my number. I'll get his though, just so he can get on my face. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, us girls, we know how to finesse. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know, let me get your number. Let me, you know, whatever. So he gave me his number. And he was like, yeah, make sure you use that. Blah, blah, blah. Come deal with a real man. Come, yeah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Get on my face. So He ends up leaving, and then I end up leaving. So I text him. I text Derek, and because on my way, on my way out to leave, I see a police car sitting like in the parking lot with their lights flashing towards, the commotion or whatever. And I was telling him like, okay, like y'all might want to leave or like do what y'all gotta do, but quietly, because the police is like sitting over there like watching y'all, and I really don't want anything to happen to y'all, or like just avoid the unnecessary uh more drama that could happen. So he's like, all right, good looking, like thank you or whatever. So I'll leave, and so I text him and I'm like, are you good? And he was like, yeah, they're taking me home right now. I mean, taking me to work right now. So I was like, all right, bet. So, I just said like, have a good rest of your night or whatever the case may be, whatever. So I don't know if he called me that same night or if it was the next day, but actually I think it was the next day. So he ended up calling me or whatever, and he was like, yeah. So we talking about the situation, and he was like, yeah, that was crazy last night. I'm like, yo, like, did y'all get everything situated? Like, is she good now? Whatever, are you good? Like, is everything good? And he was like, yo, guess what they told me? So I'm like, what? He's like, they said that they went into the bar and asked the bartender, um, did they see us in there? And the bartender said that, yeah, they was booed up. It looked like they were on a date and stuff. And mind you, we were sitting like apart, like a good distance apart. And we were on our phones, like, and just having decent conversation. So instantly I get irritated because like, what? What you mean?
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
Like, what you mean? So I'm over here getting irritated because I'm like, okay, so we just went through all of that. And then they have the audacity to lie. Like, what's the point in lying? What, you wanted to see a show? Like, is that what it was? So I instantly get irritated. I'm like, yo, you trying to go down there like tonight? Or yeah, because it was the next day. So I was like, what you trying to go down there tonight? Because I'm trying to see what's up. Like, I'm trying to see why they in here lying and starting stuff in your business. So he was like, all right, bet, like, we can go down there tonight and we can get it situated or whatever. He was like, but let me call you back and let me talk to her just to, get clarity, like get clarification that that's what they said before we go in there and start in a whole bunch of mess. So I was like, all right, bet, that sounds good to me. He calls her back and he calls me back and he's like, yeah, so I just talked to her and she said that she lied and said that the bartender said that we were booed up and we were all on each other. She said they actually went in there and they actually said that we were a little, like, a good distance apart and we were on our phones and we were just talking. So you wanted to be right so bad that, like, you went in there and just, like, you went in there and then you didn't get the answer that you wanted. So you lied. Like, I just, I don't understand. So yeah, so she lied. Let me clean off this brush because now that I'm looking, I need to use this brush to oh actually no. I'm gonna still clean it off, but I'm gonna use a different brush for right now. So I'm gonna go in with Pinkity Drunkity, which is a light pink color, and I'm gonna just fill in the white space. But yeah, I was just so irritated. Like, I was just really sitting there like, what? I was flabbergasted. I was like, really? So you really sat here and you didn't get the answer that you wanted. So you lied about what they told you just to see if, I guess, we were going to sit up there and be like, oh my gosh, no, yeah, we were on a date and blah, blah. Like, no, that's not what it was. Like, the answer that you came here for, you're not going to receive it because that's not what we came here for. Like, that's not what happened. I'm not about to sit up here and confess to a lie. Like, yeah. They must have, okay, so, I don't know if y'all can see, but, I don't know. I don't think I like how that's coming out. So, that's the story. And I finished the story well before I finished my makeup. But maybe I'm going to just do the eyes. And then come back when my whole face is done. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. That sounds logical. I'm taking the NYX matte liquid liner and I'm going to just line my eyes. So I'm going to take LA Pro Concealer in Almond. But thank you for tuning in. And I hope that, you come back for the next video because I'll be here. It's me, Ray Baby, Ray the Lash Plug, period, whatever you want to call me, or Raven. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.